Urbanization, high population growth, and outward expansion in our major cities has compelled policy regulators to implement new strategies to manage urban development sustainably. Jane Jacobs, in her profound book, The Death and Life of Great American Cities, argued for the importance of functional mix, the concept in which the diversity of functional land use is integral to the vitality of city life. The mix of different uses helps circulate the attraction of urban space and effectively reduce distances needed to access daily goods and services. Functional mix has increasingly seen a focus in land use and transport planning. Mixed uses have demonstrated to encourage better physical health outcomes through increases in active transport methods, such as walking and cycling. Citizens in denser mixed-use neighborhoods demonstrated higher levels of social capital with more involvement in community volunteering. Despite over 2 decades of supportive planning policy to encourage land use mix and urban consolidation, there is a lack of empirical investigation into the understanding the changes to land use mix within these areas. Understanding these changes is integral to the claims of improved sustainability and livability. The aim of my thesis is to conduct empirical investigation into the change of functional mix in 3 selected metropolitan activity centers of Footscray, Box Hill, and Dandenong, targeted to welcome future growth. It aims to identify the types of changes occurring, the proportion of mixed prevalent in the selected cases, and the urban morphology shaped by spatial development patterns. My methods utilize functional mix mapping, inspired by the works of Dovey and Pathgar, that categorizes the multiple types of land use into areas that we live, work, and visit. I explore the changes based on 6-year intervals between 2008, 2014, and 2020 through publicly available data through an 800 catchment area from the train station. To improve accuracy, I interpolate this data with observational-based surveys through satellite imagery, and I then quantify these changes to each individual land use. My findings demonstrate that there's been a growth in land use types with a higher concentration of residential growth. Vertical mixes have increased primarily between 2014 to 2020, although it is a rather limited in diversity, with mixed-use developments contributing limited commercial stock. I find work-related uses, such as industrial and office, that are situated on larger land plot sizes being the most conducive to facilitate mixed-use development, both in Footscray and Box Hill. Interestingly, Dandenong, known as the heart of Victoria's manufacturing output, has demonstrated the least progress to improving both mixed use and vertical mix out of the activity centres, despite its substantial increase in singular use types, such as residential. I highlight the rigidity of single-family housing and car parking spaces as they consume the majority of our activity centres, and the potential opportunities that it can play in welcoming greater mix for our activity centres. Thank you very much for listening.